What is up, YouTube? It is Matty, and it is a Clan War recap, and let's get to it. I'm slightly going to change the how I do this series. I'm going to do it show slightly less raids, but I'm going to show more detail and discussion on how, why, and yeah, basically analyse these raids a little bit deeper and go further into explanation. I've realised that is what I like to do, what a lot of my fans and viewers like to see and hear. So we're going to show slightly less raids and show more detail in them. So I hope you're ready for this, and I've got an awesome war to show you, some awesome raids to show you as well, and I'm really excited to be able to bring it to you as always, because I love good content, I love good raids, I love war. That's what I do in Clash of Clans, and I hope you're ready for this journey. So firstly, the war was versus Eclipse. Now I'm going to start with the obvious. They were outmatched on weight, on Channel 10 quantities, on Channel 9 weighting, on everything. This was really unfair for them, and I do feel for them. I think even in their description, I don't know if it's still there. No, they did remove it. They did a little joke saying thanks Supercell, because it was it was pretty unfair, and I'm happy to admit that. So we were always sort of going to win. Now, with that in mind, we had 4 Channel 10s and how many was it? 21 Channel 9s. They had 1 Channel 10. 24 Channel 9s was it? Was their bottom guy a Channel 9? Yeah. So that alone, we've got a 3 Channel 10. That's 6 extra Channel 10 attacks to them. And we had like a few attempts to 3-star that base for the Channel 10, and we just couldn't quite do it. I will show Gusty's raid on it actually as part of the series, even though I wasn't going to. I've just started this second. I will show that that attack, because it was pretty good and very close. But yeah, I mean, as you can see from the score, we got 24 out of 25 3-stars. As with every sort of clan war, it's that we do, it's a series of fails and 3-stars. So a lot of the attacks are cleanups. Some, you can see Savoni there dropping a cleanup quite early on, but we do some bases we can 3-star straight away because they're easy, or the plan just works or whatever. Some bases need reworking, so you can see this is normal for our sort of war. Even though the result looks like, oh my god, we absolutely dominated them, in a lot of cases it was that they were clean-up attacks, so we weren't quite able to do it first time. They needed to be attacked later on with the extra knowledge of traps and that sort of thing, and being able to fine-tune them. So anyway, moving into the first raid I'm going to show, which is number 19 by Son of Jay. Where are you? There you are. So let's have a look at the base. Let's have a look. Okay, so I might start pausing the video while it's going on to sort of talk through what's happening. But in this attack, you can see you got your queen next to the clan castle, relatively centrally located. The giant bomb threats, in my opinion, are between the air defense and the arch tower there, and between the expo and the air defense there. I don't think they're going to be on the outward layer. So in this account, he might want to consider doing some form of shattered GogoHo or something like that. So let's have a look at the army he brings. So from the army itself, that's a shattered GogoHo. So 2 golems, 1 in the clan castle, 29 hogs, which is a very hog heavy army. He's got 9 wizards, which is quite heavy as well, and he's got a rage. So you're pretty much always going to carry 2 heal and a jump. But it's whether you bring the 3rd heal and the rage, which is normally the question, which normally depends on what you're bringing in the kill squad. If you're bringing 2 golems and that's it, normally you're going to need a rage spell. If you bring in 3 golems, can you get away without the rage? Depends on the base. Or if you bring witches, can you get away without the rage as well? Bringing you the extra heal spell, meaning you get your hog part becomes easier. But he went for the rage with just 2 straight golems. So let's have a look at the angle he went in. So you can see down here, already he's found a wizard. I thought that wizard would be out of range, but it wasn't. His 2 golems are down. He's got 3 wizards to create that funnel. You can see he's making it so that his everything's shooting the golems. You can see you got the layer of the arch tower, the wizard, the cannon as well. Everything needs to shoot those golems to make it so that the wizards are untouched. That's the idea. So that even the wizard now on the right, towards that arch tower, the wizard will take down that arch tower. Another wizard's taking down the cannon, and then the queen and a wizard took down the arch tower as well. So he's used wall breakers to go in. So the queen really has got no choice but to move inwards now. That's funneling at its best, making sure that there's no choice. He hasn't dropped the king yet because he's waiting for the clan castle to come out. Now that they're out and they're starting to hit the golems, the king's going in and he's moving into a nice position. The rage spell, you can see he drops it towards the back side of the base to make sure that wherever the queen was stood, she was going to be in the rage, because the queen in the rage is the key here, because the queen needs to take the dragon down quickly so she can move on and stop it from hurting the hogs and the king. The golems and the king. Now the queen's down. He's already eliminated 1 giant bomb threat because that defense building was taken down, which affects the pathing. He ideally wants to get the left side down next to that arch tower, and if that arch tower goes down, it's even better, but because the queen's moved to the right, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So far so good. He's got to be careful with the hog deployment now to make sure that he doesn't get the double trip on the giant bombs. So it'll be interesting to see which angle he brings the hogs in at, but he's going to want to pretty much take it head on. So let's see how he drops his hogs in a minute. You can see, okay, so he's taking the hogs in through the north. Queen's starting to get hit now. He's going to need to use the ability soon or she's going to die. He might miss it. Oh, he did hit it. Kept the queen alive, which was nice. And you can see that first heal spell just to keep them alive. They're in one big clump, and the pathing means that they're all going to stick together, because they're all going to go to the sweeper and the wizard tower next, and they're just going to move around in a nice circle, meaning that because they're all together, the only risk here is that they're going to hit that giant bomb, those double giant bombs. But I don't know if you noticed, he's already dropped a few hogs down the south side of the base with their intention is to stop that giant bomb threat. So he's considered it, he's taken appropriate action, and look, he's sending in these back end hogs to go and deal with that threat. Absolutely beautiful raid. The fact that he did that, saved those hogs, kept those first alive with the heal, and then saved those back end hogs, because he knew that I can't understand how that planning is ridiculous, knowing that the queen was going to go that way, or that there was that risk of that double giant bomb threat. And he alleviated it by just doing those back-end delayed hogs, and then his big clump of hogs are alive, and they just help with cleanup and help finish the raid. It was such a nice raid, which is why I showed this one in the video. So the next attack we're going to do is by Jesse. So let's have a quick look. It's a again, sort of an anti 3-star base. The first giant bomb threat I would say is between the mortar and the expo. Just to the right of the queen, and then it's probably going to be a couple of single giant bombs, because there's no obvious double giant bomb threat there. So his plan of attack, I would imagine, would be to break through this compartment through the arch tower and the cannon, and jump over towards the queen through the double giant bomb threat. That would make sense. Now he's bought 2 golems, because you can see there is one in this clan castle. There's 9 times out of 10 there's a golem in the clan castle. It makes sense. And he's bought 2 witches as well. Maybe because he's going in a bit deeper into the base to get to that queen, he thought 2 witches were necessary. I wouldn't be too... I'd think that you'd be okay without the witches on this one, or at least without the rage if you're going to bring the witches with you. But hey, what can I say? Jesse got the 3-star on this one, and did it work? So let's have a look at the delivery. He's got to have gone this side, which he has. Look, so 2 golems down. You can see the left arch tower down here is shooting the golem, and the right cannon is shooting the golem, meaning that because that cannon's sort of distracted, and that arch tower's distracted down the bottom left, he's got an available huge area where he can drop wizards which are not going to be touched. If that wizard tower there was an archer tower, you'd have to be careful about dropping a sort of wizard on that builder hut. So you need to look all around to see what the ranges of the defences are as part of your scouting, to make sure that when you drop the wizards, they're not going to get touched. And because if they get killed, when you plan that they hadn't, then that's when queens can run around the outside of the base. Unfortunate here, because the Tesla popped not on the golem, it popped on the queen, so it did take a portion of her health, but it was taken down quite quickly by her, which really did help. And you can see the delayed drop on both the witches and the king. What the CC's been pulled now, so it's been pulled by the golems. And because it's been pulled by the golems, it's not going to take the king's health down instantly. That's the point. You don't want the clan caster to come out and target the king instantly. So because they've done that, it's going to give him extra health. The golems are going to be the point of fire, which that's all they're there for. The golems are only there to take damage because that's what they're good for. They've got a lot of health, and that's about it. Witches are in distracting, and that's the point. The witches are in rage. They're creating those skellies. The skellies are running around. The dragon doesn't know where to look, who to shoot, and the point is that it just might keep that king live for a bit longer. He's already started bringing the hogs in, so you can see he didn't even wait for the troops to go down. The risk here is that you miss like the king or queen ability, which is king's looking dangerously low on health. But if you can get the timing right, see, hit the king ability. He's already dropped a group of the hogs, look, and all the threats are gone. The double giant bomb's gone, the queen's gone, the clan castle gone. He has got the skeletons, which are still there, which is a little bit of a concern. But you can see that the hogs are moving around the outside of the base now, and he's dropped his final heal spell down to keep the hogs alive for these buildings. I like it when you do sort of a two-finger or an Asian wall or that sort of drop, so that the hogs clump up, because if you get the pathing right, which he's done, where they all move around together, they take defences down very, very quickly. And once they're down and the raid's out, then the hogs will turn on those skellies, take them down, and just look at how many hogs are left. It's insane amount. So complete textbooks raid. I've clearly saved a couple of wizards for cleanup, which you always need to do, because they might buy him 30-40 seconds. I don't think this raid had a timing issue though, but you can see the attack that I thought it would be, because of the giant bomb locations, that dictated which side he come from. He felt he needed the witches. I think he might have been fine without them personally, because he had the rage spell there, but when you only take 2 heal spells, you need to be very, very careful on where you place them, because it's make or break. It really is. Now time to show you something different. So let's show you the raid by Nazca. This is, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, not Nazca or something, I don't know. 6 healers. That's weird in itself. Only 16 hogs, 4 giants, and there's giants in the clan castle as well, so no golems. So this is a really special raid. I can't talk too much about the in-depth strategy behind it. I can speculate because I didn't do it, and I haven't really seen it that much, but it's GogoHo. Now look, the giants are down, they're getting hit by the defences, and the funnels start to be created similar to golems. You know, the golems are there to distract, the giants are there doing the same distraction job while the wizards clear the way. Now he's got a group of healers which have gone the wrong way. They're meant to heal the queen, but they have redirected, fortunately. His king's going in, the giants are getting flown around a little bit, but he needs his queen to stay alive now, and you'll see he will need to use the ability, but you've got too many defences hitting her. Once that cannon goes down, life gets easier. Once the arch tower goes down, the life gets even easier. But the hound's not doing much of anything at the moment, because he's brought it in at that angle, and you can see he's already bringing the hogs in now. So things are going into the core. The queen's down. Things have been eliminated. The queen's on full health, just chilling there, taking defences down. She's going to move towards those Teslas soon, by the look of it. Double giant bomb threat eliminated. Hogs are coming in almost surgically here to start taking down those to take down those defences, and he doesn't need that many heal spells, which is only fortunate for him. So that's it. He's got the poison spell there, as you can see, to take down those skeletons, and the hogs have coming into the close, coming to the final bit of the raiding, because the queen's still being hit by healers, it means she's going to survive and be able to help take down even more defenses. So is that hound even going to pop throughout this raid? I don't think so. And that's why it was such an awesome raid. The CC is basically nothing. It hasn't been popped. The queen has just been an absolute MVP. The hogs were... You can see yourself how many hogs are left alive on this raid. What an interesting sort of goho attack it was. I think it was because of the giant bomb locations. It was sort of apparent. And if we go back and look at that one on the scouting, that the giant bomb threat, that if he went in the route he did, he should get that arch tower, meaning that it eliminates that as a threat, which I believe it did. So yeah, really interesting raid. Really interesting army choice. We're going to continue this video in a minute. I'm going to take a quick sort of breather because the kids are just getting home and things are about to kick off, and then we'll go into the next raid in this video, which is an Archer Queen walk on the number 6. Hey guys, sorry about that, thanks for bearing with me. Yeah, we're going in to see Dave or Xliv's attack on number 6. And this is the base. Just have to have a quick little look at where we can see where our potential threats are and that sort of thing. So you can see, I reckon the 2 double giant bomb spots on this base between the sort of whatchamacallit, the air sweeper there and the air defense, and then the air defense and the expo that side, just makes sense. But what you could potentially do here is, if you can jump, because of the queen platform, the queen's between them, if you can almost jump over completely over that, you could potentially trigger both sets of double giant bombs. So I don't know if Dave Effective tries that or not, but what I know he does do is a mini Archer Queen walk, which I thought was quite cool. So I'll shut up. Well, let's have a look. Obviously I can't go too deep into these sorts of raids because I'm just not that experienced yet. But let's have a look at how the raid goes and what he does and try and break it down. So it's going through the north side of the base. You can see, because he's dropped the minions down to help create the path in there, but the natural pathing is going to take him southwards anyway, so he knows that. He's got the he's dropped the golem down as well now, with a couple of healers on it. Now, because that cannon went down, and now the queen's no longer being targeted by any heavy hitting defences, that's going to make it easier for him. And the funneling is carrying on. Look, there's wizards to create the gap, to make it so that the queen has to go sort of in, same with the king. And there's the jump spell. Look, he's going to need to be careful on the king drop here. He's going to need to drop it slightly north, but the healer's just keeping everything nice and alive. That rage spell as well to just help the guys out. King's going in now. Look, the queen's getting to work on the dragon by the look of it. It's about to go down. And there you go. So he didn't bother jumping over the other side, so he's going to have to be careful the way he approaches the hog drop now, because luckily got a skelly trap as well. Queen's down as well, so all the things are going quite nice, and the queen's under heal. So let's have a look at the way he does it. Drops a few hogs up north to take the cannon down, and then a few hogs down the southern side and the sort of the western side of the base. But he's coming in from all different angles, so the hogs are going to sort of all clump together and jump in. But maybe that group of hogs, it's looking a bit difficult actually for the for getting the double trip, because it looks like a few hogs are going to have to double trip that. But some are going to move away. Oh, a load of bacon there. That was harsh. He got an absolute hell of a lot. I suppose that's always the risk, isn't it? But nice clutch loon last minute to keep the hogs from getting splat by the wizard tower. Dropping in the goblins to help with the cleanup as well, the wizards. And he's been able to sort of get away with bringing home the 3-star, because even though a load of the hogs died, so many didn't. And the raid was so sort of carefully planned, carefully dropped. He knew exactly what hogs he was dropping where, what angles they were coming from. I mean, as you saw, it was quite easy and very quick for me to guesstimate where those double giant bomb spots were, and because it's obvious a lot of the times. It's just really obvious if you know, and in that case, I mean, if you know that, it gives you such an advantage. Being able to correctly scout is so key. To be able to make your plans effective. This was a little bit lucky in my opinion, that the hogs, the amount of hogs that died, that he was able to carry on and get the 3-star. And it's quite funny because the last raid we're going to show, the next raid we're going to show is by him as well. Completely different strategy, completely different attack. Now this base, you're going to see what's quite funny about it is the fact that this sort of the wall around the town hall, if imagine all that wall was gone by, let's say, something like earthquake, pretty much the whole base is opened up, minus the outer ring. So if you think, and that's where the queen is, and that's where the king is. Double giant bomb threats. There's one by the expo. There's one by the air defense. The ones by this expo here next to the queen is unlikely because there's no defense to sort of path onto it, and same below. So, I mean, in my opinion, this was an absolute beautiful attack. Something completely new as well, because you'll see he decides to take out the big compartment and take out the giant bomb threats en route. He uses a pretty heavy kill squad as well. So let's have a look. So naturally he's got one golem in the CC, one golem in his army comp, but he's got 4 witches. So that's quite like a heavy little mini go wee wee almost. And the wizard's there naturally to create the funnel, as always, with a couple of minions he must have spot. Just looking at where he could put the minions. Wonder if that lab's out of reach. So he might drop the minions on the lab, maybe. We're going to see in a minute. He's also got 2 loons, and you'll see where the loons come into play as well. This is where Xliv just really shows a masterclass in raiding. You can see 2 heal spells, but because he doesn't need the jump, and because he doesn't need he's not using the rage because of all the witches, and he can open the base and just make it really easy for his heroes. You're going to see how this raid goes now. This is an absolute beaut. So starts the raid. You'll see the earthquakes go down straight on top of that town hall, and he's just going to completely open. Look how much this opens up the base now. It's crazy. So golem's down, and he's found the couple of minions on the army camp. Look, and the wizard's creating the rest of the funnel, and now the golems are going to start heading inwards. Queen's going inwards. She's not really going to want to run around. The wizards have moved on to defences anyway, so now that those defences are gone, it's going to help keep the golems alive a little bit longer, and the witches and things aren't going to get targeted. And you can see they're going in. They come across the dragon. Now you're going to have a lot of skeletons being produced here. So although the dragon's targeting the golem now, it's going to soon it's going to get hit by distraction. Everything else is being distracted as well. But you can see the king's going in, and the king was dropped late to make sure it wasn't targeted by the dragon. So the king's got full health. The enemy king's about to go down. 1 double giant bomb threat is eliminated already. You can see there. Golem's gone up and triggered the other double giant bomb set. A skelly trap's been triggered. Queen's about to be locked on by the king. He slams her down, and look at this. All the hogs in, and just watch. He's being careful. He's delaying. He doesn't need to drop the heal spell yet. He keeps delaying, waiting, because the later he leaves it without all the hogs dying. But I think he could have dropped it a bit sooner, because a lot of the hogs just died then on the north side. But I suppose, and because of that arch tower didn't go down. But then again, wizard loons straight onto that arch tower. He doesn't care too much, because the fact that that defense hasn't gone down, he's like, screw it, I'm just going to drop a loon on it. On the right hand side of the base where the final defences are as well, and look, he's got a heal spell. Drops the heal spell down nicely. All the hogs are there. Drops the loon in last second as well. He's got his cleanup. He's got his queen pretty much on full health with ability remaining. The loon's going over to go and help, but it's going to land pretty much on us. Oh, I was going to say it's on the storage then. But look now, not much left to take down. Just a real beautiful raid. All double giant bomb threats eliminated. The fact he could just earthquake open the base and kill the king, the queen, skelly traps, double giant bombs, also effectively, and still come away with a queen that's pretty much full health. It's insane. So beautiful raid. Pretty bad base design if you ask me. On this one at least anyway. Because you could have done something similar with a tactical jump spell, not as effective though. And I just love the way that he just, yeah, anyway. Final raid we're going to show is the Tunnel 10. Gusty Yo taking down, or almost taking it down. So let's have a look at the attack. King and Queen separated drop. They're going to sort of start taking down some buildings. Queen's going to move inwards in a minute. She's going to need to go and get that air defense. King's going to have to use the ability soon as well. King's broke through, goes to take down the enemy Queen, and you can see already you've got all those hounds and loons coming down now onto the base. Big wide drop. CC loons going down from the bottom side as well, and it's going to come down to sort of pure rage and freeze timing now to how well he does. There was a hound in the CC, and those pups did do some pretty solid damage to quite a few of those. Oh, was there? Or am I being stupid? I think I'm being stupid. Yeah, there is a look. The pups are starting to take down the loons now. That's going to maybe come back to haunt him later in the raid because the loons are starting to die, because they're getting hit by a few things now, including those pups. You're going to watch what happens in this raid. Now they're still getting hit hard. There was a last hound explosion there, which was absolutely awesome, and then there's a pup versus pup showdown. But unfortunately, you've got 2 arch towers left, but all those loons have been made weak. So you can see now he's got nothing left in the tank, no rage, no haste, no nothing. He's just going to have to rely on the slowness of those loons, and their pups are still there to help in being a pain, and it's just come down to, it's just meant that he's just fell that little bit short, look, and because that arch tower has survived, it's going to slowly but surely kill the pups, and that's how this raid came to an end, and so unfortunate. If only the enemy pups would have been taken down a bit sooner, maybe his loons would have had that bit of extra health, but it just wasn't quite there, so real shame. Anyway, awesome war. Great to throw such a high score on the board. There was only one Channel 10 there, and it was an outmatch. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this recap. As always, if this is the sort of thing you'd like to see, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to this channel, and support me by letting me know your thoughts. Anyway, peace out, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.